What's good, everybody? How you doing? You can follow along on all Disruption Network social media platforms. I'm going to wrap this up into a podcast that you can listen to at your leisure, at your discretion, on all podcast platforms, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Amazon, Google, pretty much wherever you get your podcast. You can check this out. Also, right now, you can follow along on Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, of course. And if you are watching on Facebook, please click that share button. If you are watching on YouTube, smash that like button and subscribe to our channel. Shout out to my sponsors, United Auto Sale, 4994 Commercial Drive in Yorkville, UnitedUsedCars.com. See why it's easy to do business with United Cars, United Auto. If you have a used car and you're looking to sell it, they'll buy it from you. They got cash on hand for you right now. Go down to their showroom and see why it's easy to do business with United. Also, shout out to EJA Moving Services, 315-335-0516. That's the number to have them move all your stuff for you. They're a great service. EJAMoving.com. You can find them online. Also, shout out to Joey's at 307 Mohawk Street. If you're in the mood for a great meal this week, give them a call today at 315-864-3527. Shout out to my boy Billy, the liquor guy. He's got a book out there called Under Too Long. It's about FTA agents infiltrating the bad guys and untaxed cigarettes and biker gangs and Jamaican gangs. I mean, it's a great book. Very action-packed book. You could get it on Amazon or wherever you get your books. Shout out to my friends over at Utica Coffee, Saranac Brewery. Big ups to my attorney, Dave Longaretta. 315-735-6162 if you need some legal advice. He's been keeping me out of trouble since the early 90s. And also, big ups to Ballsy, ballwash.com. Use promo code members only for a 15% discount. Get yourself some nut rub. Josh Fish from the Fish Guy Media Group in the house with me. You are definitely by far the best smelling guest I've ever had, bro.
Thank you. That means a lot, man.
What is that fragrance you're wearing?
That is, I don't want to give away all my secrets, but that is some John Varvatos. I recently got into good-smelling colognes.
Yeah.
And dude, it's like, honest to God, that means a lot. That really does. I'm glad it's noticeable.
It's noticeable. You came in the second you came in there, I'm like, wow, this guy. I don't know whether to interview him or fuck him.
Come to play, man. I come to play, and I'll take this wherever you want to take it. You know what I'm saying? I'm open to it.
I'm not. I'm just kidding.
I mean, I'm not though. So wherever you want to take this, see, that's on you, play. Dude, you are incredible. You got a voice for this. The way you just shouted out everybody. What was the name of that book one more time?
It's called Under Too Long.
I need to check that out.
You
dude.
do. So Billy the liquor guy.
Yes.
He was just here actually.
Yes.
He's an interesting character, and he was a bar owner in Utica back in the 80s.
Okay.
In fact, one of the very first bars I ever got drunk in. I'm dating myself a little bit, but it was a bar called Coach's Corner.
Okay.
Which no longer exists. It's Utica Mutual now, which is down by Hotel Utica in that area, right? And from that led him on to being a undercover agent, and they were popping untaxed alcohol, untaxed cigarettes.
Wow.
And it was right around 9/11 that he became this agent, Billy the liquor guy, and he would go undercover, and he was infiltrating Al-Qaeda with these untaxed cigarettes. We're funding Al-Qaeda, and then he got into these biker gangs and Jamaican gangs selling drugs and stuff. The book is incredible. It really is.
Wow.
It's called Under Too Long.
Under Too Long. I definitely need to check that out. That
and
sounds
he's writing
incredible.
a second book right now, more about PTSDs and mental health, because, I mean, being undercover for so long.
Especially in that time, too, because they never talk about that. Right. Dude, that's incredible.
Now the PTSDs and everything, he's talking about that, and he's trying to help other agents get out of their mental health struggles. Man. So
that's incredible, dude. That is so cool. That is so cool.
It's an interesting story. If you do get a chance, check it out.
Yeah, I definitely will. That's going to be my next read. I see it popped up right there on the screen. That's awesome. Dude.
It's a wild ride, man.
Yeah.
So we met a couple weeks ago at May's studio. Shout out to our boys, Handsome Bob. I know that's your boys and my boys too as well.
Guys.
Me too.
Do they put on a show? If I always say this, if there are rafters at the place they're playing at, they would be swinging from them. They are so energetic. They're so hot and on it. You know what I'm saying? I love checking out Handsome Bob everywhere they go.
Fresh new sound that they're delivering.
Yes.
Chris Perez is probably the best frontman in the area. There's a lot of great frontmen. I'm friends with all the bands in the area. I got to say Chris Perez is right up there. He's got a great voice. he commands an audience. He's very charismatic.
And what I love the most, it's a fresh new sound, like you just said, on a lot of like really classic songs that we all love, which is the best, you know, and they're not afraid to just go out, interact with the crowd, pull you into it. Dude, it is... like anybody out there, if you get the chance to go see Handsome Bob, I cannot recommend them enough. I like, seriously, it's such a time, dude. They throw a party.
They do.
They throw a party.
They do, and they're playing a lot lately. So shout out to our boy AJ. I know AJ was on your show.
AJ Bates,
I got to check out that show.
Love him. Love him. He is, dude, he is such a personality. We always tell him, it's like, why? It's like, I understand why you're doing music, but you've got to start doing comedy because he is just such a flamboyant, just a big personality to see out there. And I don't know why he restricts himself as a bass player. It's weird, man. It's like bass players are just like, hey, man, check this out. They play like 3 notes and get no chicks. I don't get it. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, step out there. Be yourself.
Yeah. The bass player is the glue of the band, though, brother. I'm a bass player. So
I know. Well,
we're the glue of the band. No, don't be sorry. It's all good.
But yes, they are. They really are. Them, yes.
They hold it all together.
Yes, and when the bass player's into it too, they just start slapping it like some kind of funky priest. You know what I mean? Like they hit it hard, and it's so cool to see an energetic bass player just out there. I mean, just in front of the guitar, in front of the lead vocals. They don't give a shit. They'll just be right out in front of everybody.
Yeah.
You know?
What kind of music are you listening to?
Everything right now. Right now, I'm actually. And this is going to be weird as shit, but I'm really into East Coast hip hop right now, like '90s East Coast hip hop.
Right on.
I don't know why, but it's been fueling my workouts, man. Like I hit the gym and like it's like Biggie and Jay-Z and like it's like all of this incredible, you know, hip hop that came out in like I said, the 90s, early 2000s. I don't know why I'm just getting turned on to it now in my life, but I am, you know. But I grew up way up in the sticks, you know, so I was like, country music boy. And then
gotcha.
Yeah, man. I mean, my parents owned a bar and restaurant, so that's what everybody wanted to hear was just like, play as Travis Tritt. Like, no, kill me. You know?
It's Travis Tritt, one of those artists that you can't stand to listen to anymore.
Most of those, I mean, really, most country music is just, it's I'm over it, man. I'm over it. Yeah, it take me on to, and so I love how I explore music. I just find that I find things autonomously. It rolls into my library, and then I'm like, wow, I want to hear more sound like that, you know? And then it just keeps rolling where, you know, I will always say Goodbye Yellow Brick Road album by Elton John is one of the best albums ever to be released ever. But for some reason, like I said, I'm super into Biggie right now. It's a weird. If you go through my Spotify playlist, man, it'll blow your mind. You know, you'll go from Frank Sinatra to Biggie in a real hurry.
Are you one to seek out new music? New artists?
Yes, I love finding new artists. I love any kind of. And I know people kind of, you know, shit on these new age European bands, you know what I mean? Like those punk rock, but a lot of them are putting out great sound. I mean, it's like, you know, say what you will, but yeah, I love finding new sounds, new music, because it is just how we as people have always communicated universally. So there is something crazy to be said about the power of music and the kind of person that doesn't seek new music. You know what I mean? It's like, that's a little questionable to me, but it's to each their own, I suppose.
Yeah, they're still stuck in their little corner.
Exactly.
Right.
So what are you into? I'm noticing like your intros, it's all kind of like modern rock, more.
I'm into everything.
Yeah?
Everything. Okay. So that's, the intro song was written by my good friend John Liebing.
Okay.
I don't know if you know John. He's a local musician in the area.
Good for you, man.
He wrote that back a bunch of years ago when we first launched the network and whatnot.
Nice.
But I'm into everything. I like it all.
Yeah.
I do. I like everything from rock to hip hop to soul and funk.
Give me some jazz horns every now and again. I don't care. You know?
For sure, man. I was rocking some David Sanborn on Sunday.
Yes.
You know, just sitting around the house. Because something about Sunday and jazz could just go hand in hand for me.
A very relaxing kind of, you know, people call it the Sunday, you know, the Sunday scaries or whatever. It's a very relaxing kind of feel. But it, like I said, it's the way we have always kind of universally communicated as people. And even though it's like maybe we don't know how to put actual words to our feelings or our emotions or how we feel that day or our mood, the music always does. You know, we always seek out the tune, the sound, the beat that describes us in that moment. So it's incredible to see what people listen to and what they think really defines the background of their life.
Right. It's the fabric of their life. I always say music is your best friend.
One of the biggest problems with reality is that there's no background music. You know what I mean? It's like I would love to hear people's background music throughout the day because it would probably keep me out of a lot of confrontation and issues, you know? But, you know, hey, I always like to see, like I said, what people are listening to because it's defining on them. You know, but yeah, that's where I'm at with music.
What's your background, bro? Because this is the first time we're really actually conversing. So,
dude,
give me a little history on you.
All right,
I want the book report.
The book report. I graduated high school up in the Adirondacks, and instead of completing college, I dropped out of that to pursue martial arts. I got super into that. I did like 35, 40 hours of martial arts a week.
Oh, wow.
I was an instructor for a while. I was teaching kids class, adults classes. And then I was a bouncer to test the martial arts because I wanted to make sure it all worked. You know what I mean? And I got shot at a nightclub outside of Albany, or inside of Albany, but outside the club. You know what I mean? That kind of situation. So I called my boss and I said, I'm never doing this again. I'm calling it. Got a job as a corrections officer, worked in law enforcement for a few years, 911 dispatcher, corrections officer. It was incredible. I met some of the best people I'll ever meet, and it gave me a great perspective on a lot of things, right? So I get out of law enforcement, which is a long story, and I ended up running a Speedway gas station for a while, right? So I know people's minds are like, how did you go from law enforcement to Speedway? It's not a bad story. I didn't do anything crazy illegal, but, you know, it's just how life works out. And then so Speedway led me to the Utica area. And then I hated the corporate retail life, man. What an awful shill. I mean, just you've never been treated so bad by people. I mean, really, it's terrible. So I got out of that. Now I'm a private contractor. I deal solely in like IT work, technical stuff as my day job, comedy by night, you know, entertainment, Twitch. I stream video games. I do stupid videos. I call myself an internet renaissance man, dude. It's like there is so much space on the internet right now for big personalities. And the way my mind works, I'm always doing something different. So it's like you've seen the Fireside Joshes on my Instagram, but then I'll do like video game reviews where I edit myself into the game doing, you know, weird shit. My mind works in a weird way, and I like to try to reflect it on the internet, you know what I mean, and just kind of entertain people. My biggest philosophy is that I'm trying to bring a little bit more light into the room than when was there when I showed up, you know what I mean? And so that's what I aim to do. That's where I'm at right now. It's crazy.
You definitely brought the energy today.
I'm trying.
I loved it.
You know, I'm trying. It's a lot of anxiety, man. I don't know why I'm nervous doing it. It's being in an official, like a real studio. That's what's fucking with me. I work out of the living room of my house.
Okay.
I've built like a weird in this area, you know what I mean? Like where I'm sitting right now is the size of my studio. And so I am just like what you've built is incredible, man. It really makes somebody feel like, wow, I might have done something right. And maybe I know somebody important. Wow.
I don't know about all that, bro. I'm just a scumbag from the ghetto, man.
You guys, it's like I've been keeping up on the Disruption Network since I started. I love what you guys do. Your Ghost series, the paranormal. Agent Paranormal. I love it, man. And it's like I'm normally not even one for paranormal stuff, but it's like the way you guys present the information. And the energy that every one of you have is palpable, you know what I mean? And honestly, it's a driving force to how I like to do my stuff because especially you, I watch the energy you will bring in to help your guests and make everybody feel included. And it's like, man, what he's doing is on point.
Oh, thanks, bud.
Yeah, no, now that I know you, I've met you, and I'm sitting here in your studio. It's something completely else, man. It's really cool.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, so keep doing what you're doing. Seriously.
I appreciate that. I want to back up a little bit, talk martial arts. What kind of martial arts were you into?
I was into American Kenpo Karate.
Okay.
I'm actually getting back into American Kenpo Karate now, and then I was also into Judo. I had the opportunity to train with Angela Woosley, who fought in the Pan Am Games in 2009 as the U.S. Women's Judo Champion. Dude, she was 110 pounds and could beat the shit out of you with the planet. It was incredible, you know what I mean? So it's like this, I was maybe 290 pounds when I was doing judo, and this little girl, I mean, just hip tossing me like I was nothing. I was like, I need to learn from her, you know what I mean? And so I had an incredible, I would say, 9 months working with her, and then my karate instructor out in Johnstown, he is insane, but I love him, you know what I mean? He will put you through the ringer, and I've had the opportunity to travel all over the country and all over the world doing martial arts with some of the literally the best. I mean, Danny Inosanto, Bruce Lee's protege. I've worked with it. It's incredible the way the guy does business. You know what I mean? You can't understand a word he says, but he'll show you a technique at half speed, then he'll show you a technique at full speed, and then he'll go, do. And so everybody, you know, steps back and does it. And it's like, the way he teaches and the way he displays his martial arts, it's incredible. So I was really blessed to have worked with so many fantastic people that, I mean, nobody's ever heard of, you know what I mean? Because the martial arts community is so big and diverse. Unless you're in a movie, nobody's heard of you. So it's like, but I've worked with so many cool people, so many great people, and learned so many interesting and useful tidbits of things, not even related to martial arts, you know, that it was no question why I dropped out of college. You know, I was not going to get the culture and experience in college that I would have just hanging out with these people from all over the world. England and Barbados, Chile, Venezuela. I mean, it's like the friends I have all over the planet just due to martial arts is incredible. Really is, man. And I cannot suggest it enough to anybody.
Do you fight in tournaments, or have you ever done any MMA?
I used to fight in tournaments. 2012, 2013. I was the #4 competitor for karate on the East Coast.
Wow.
I got my ass kicked by a kid named Max Van X, right? I'll never forget it. I had to fight a triple header. So I fought one match, turned right around, fought a second match, and then they were like, oh, due to a scheduling issue, we got to have you fight a third one. And I was fat at the time. It's like American Kenpo Karate, they say, is an art for old, slow, fat men. I wasn't old, but I fit the description, you know? And so they had me like, all right, time to fight a third one. And this jacked kid, man, Max Van X, he lit me up, dude. He beat the shit out of me. And it's like, I'll never forget that last point he just turned around and Superman punched me. I was like, yeah, there's nothing I can do about that. And so I lost that tournament, and he got invited to the Dublin Invitational, but I was like #4, you know, because of that match. I still think if I had a little bit of a breather, I might have done better, but I remember that Superman punch, and there was, dude, it was incredible. He just like turned around, jumped in the air, and hit me with like a cross, you know, a cross roundhouse. I was like, oh my god.
Did he knock you out, or?
I was close. Yeah, no, I went down. I went down, and even yeah, this is over. I was like, yeah, good call, man. Good call. You know, but no, I was really into it, dude. Like I said, I used to hit tournaments. I used to teach. I used to teach adult children. You know. We did a couple women's self-defense classes. A lot of really just interesting, I don't know. It's stuff that like, if you had gone through college and just done shit normally, you probably wouldn't have done it. So I will never regret dropping out of college, ever. Yeah. Ever. You know what I mean? And pursuing martial arts. Maybe one day I'll go back, but.
What are some of the martial art philosophies that you install in your day-to-day life?
I make it a point to not fight people. It's the honest to God, not physically or emotionally or just get into an argument. It's not worth it.
Right.
Keep your center, keep your chi. Sorry, a little burp or whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's, you know, don't let anybody else live up here rent-free. It's like all those cliches. Don't let somebody else into your head, because at the end of the day, even if you do get into a confrontation and quote-unquote win, like, you still lose, you're still off-center, you're still not yourself all the way. So that's kind of the biggest thing, is I just make it a point to not fight somebody. Now, it's a different story. If you want to, we can. But, for the most part, I'm a really even-keeled kind of guy. I try to keep it even-keeled, high energy but fun kind of thing. And then other than that, it's just recognizing the situation you're in. I find a lot of people just they don't know when to just leave an area, like when you go out drinking with your friends or whatever, maybe they let it go a little bit too far, and it's like, hey man, we should go. And they're like, why? It's like, well, there's a fight right there, so we should probably just get out of this situation, So that situational awareness is also a big one they teach you. It's not all about punches and kicks,
right,
man. And that's a big misconception people have. They're just like, oh, you did martial arts, you can probably, do all this crazy stuff. And I know I can't. I can do the basics very well, but I have just a different temperament is what is the big thing with martial arts training and just learning about yourself and your mind, the spirituality of it.
Yes. That's what I love about martial arts.
Yes.
Centering yourself,
yes,
staying grounded.
Exactly. Meditation through movement is what we always called it. And exactly what you said, staying grounded, staying just real to yourself and your environment, and, learning not to expect too much of yourself. And learning not to expect too much of others as well, and having realistic expectations. It's all very peaceful when you get into it, which you wouldn't think about. It's like, oh yeah, you just think of martial arts as like a very inherently violent thing. It's not. It's actually really peaceful, and it's calming to you as a person in ways that are really indescribable unless you sit and study those feelings, So I don't know. That's why I gravitated towards it, and I think I am now. I mean, like I said, I'm getting back into it now. I reached out to my instructor for the first time in years just the other day, actually. So it's funny that we're talking about this. But, it's just I always felt my truest self when I was doing martial arts, and I let that go for the last 5 years. And now there's just this part in the back of my head that's going, dude, we need to recenter. We need to, get back in. And so it's like, yeah, listen to that part of yourself and make the changes that you got to make. And that's so I'm going to get back into it and see what happens.
Yeah, especially with all the crap that's going on in the world today. It's hard to stay centered, hard to stay present.
Yes.
And it really affects your mental health.
I'm a firm believer that we were never supposed to ingest as much information as we do on a day-to-day basis. The way we turn on Instagram, Facebook, we get, the world's issues thrown in our face 24/7, 7 days a week. We were never supposed to take that. We were always supposed to just deal with our immediate community, the people around us, make sure that where we live is a safe and prosperous place, and we're missing that now. You know what I mean? And you're absolutely right. It makes the world an incredibly uncentered and scary place to be. Yeah. Really. But I think we're getting back to it. I think we're figuring it out. I think everybody's collectively, you see kind of just that disengagement from a lot of social media stuff lately, where people are actively realizing that, hey, maybe this much exposure isn't good for me. And so it's cool to see people take those active steps away from it.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it's just scary shit going on in this world,
Yes, absolutely. Just yesterday, you look at what happened at the local high school. You know what I mean?
It's been happening a lot over there.
Right, right. And it's so maybe we stop worrying about what's going on across the nation in California and we start turning inwards and we go, how can I help my immediate community today? You know what I mean? So that's such a huge thing I think a lot of communities are missing because of social media and such the huge online presence everybody feels they need to have. And I say that while running, a Twitch streaming, Fish Guy Media Network, whatever. So maybe I'm a hypocrite. I don't know.
Is Twitch your number one platform?
Yes, I love Twitch. Yeah. I think what they are doing, I have my issues with some of the, policy and procedure, but it's, I think that kind of platform, that kind of live platform is going to grow so much over the course of the next 5 years, in that people are dumping cable services. By and large, people are dumping, or they're sharing their Netflix accounts, they're sharing their Hulus and all that nonsense. So, with the rise of all these streaming services like Peacock, Discovery Plus, and all this, stuff that nobody will ever use, Twitch is going to be that bastion of light that at the end of all of it, when they realize Peacock didn't work out and Discovery Plus didn't work out, and all, it's going to be like, it's going to go to Twitch. It's going to go, Discovery is going to be on Twitch. It's that live common use website is going to take off, I believe, as a platform. You know what I mean? And the ones that dedicate themselves to it, like we were talking about before we went live, like Facebook can adapt to doing live service stuff very well. But Twitch is a program that was built for it and will thrive when it is being used to its full potential. And I think right now just not enough people know about services like Twitch to really unlock that full potential or make these companies realize there's a lot more potential out there, you know?
It looks better on Twitch.
Yes.
You know, the screen-wise, I just think it looks sharper than it does on Facebook.
Yes, absolutely. And it goes right back to what I was saying. Facebook can figure it out and make it work, but Twitch is built for it. You know what I mean? So when I started, I was on Facebook, and I noticed that exact same thing that you just said. I was like, you know, it does look a little crisper on Twitch. And it's probably just something to do with their back end and how they do stuff in their servers and, you know, whatever. And, hey, as somebody who's just starting out, that's what I've got to look for. I've got to look for every little advantage I have to capitalize on. Yeah. You know, it's like, I don't know how you feel, but it's like the market is so diluted with this kind of content, with
it is.
comedy and
I agree.
Video games, that it's like, to stand out, you've got to have 100% production. You've got to have, I mean, everything's got to be sharp, on point. You've got to have talking points. You've got to go into a stream with a plan. You can't just go into it, you know, flying off the seat of your pants if you want to grow, you know, and that's what I'm trying to do.
There's people killing it on Twitch right now,
dude,
too.
It's nuts.
Like a lot of my music buddies are killing it. Shout out to my boy Just Joe right now. He just reached over 1 million streams in a year. He just in 1 year, 1 million streams. So shout out to Joe. He's killing it.
Dude, that's awesome.
And so many other people are killing it, you know, financially too. They make some money on Twitch, and I love seeing that because it puts the power back into the artist's hands. Absolutely.
You're absolutely right. And it's like music, like you're saying, is taking off on Twitch. Sports is taking off on Twitch. The stuff outside of video games is blowing up. And it's like I'm saying, it's because they're realizing the potential of the platform. So now they're going to start marketing it to, you know, outside the video games, outside the, like I call the nerd sector, which I love, I'm part of, but at the same time, there's so much more out there to be explored. And music is hitting hard right now because, I mean, let's face it, like our unmanaged or our indie developers in music, our indie producers, they're putting out stuff that is comparable or better to what we're being forced to listen to on the radio. You know what I mean? Okay, so I got to shout out my friend Cassidy. I mean, she's out in L.A. She's killing it. Her music is fantastic, man. Absolutely. I mean, it's like every song she puts out is an absolute banger, and it's like, you know, I'm being forced, you know, the newest Nicki Minaj song or whatever. It's like, dude, it pales in comparison to what my friend is doing, unmanaged, without the resources of come on now.
Smartest thing she did was get out of the area.
Yes, and so like platforms like Twitch that are allowing people to do this stuff now live, the unmanaged or the people with very limited technical capabilities, they're going to thrive there, and they're gonna make their money, and I can't wait to see it, dude. I can't wait to see this entire nonsense system of entertainment we call, I mean, just the Disney monopoly, and I can't wait to see it crumble. I can't wait to see these people just, I mean, their Twitch channels take off, and it does my heart good to see it. I mean, one of my friends out in Montana, I mean, she's making money doing, just streaming video games on Twitch, man. Come on, this is such a cool time to live in. You'll never convince me otherwise. It's scary as shit, but it's cool. You know?
Like, technology-wise, it's amazing, like, where we are. It's like, what a great time to be alive.
Yes. Yeah, if you know how to capitalize on it, it's really,
something as simple as easy as just playing a video game and streaming it.
Yes.
Like,
or, I mean, don't even go that far. You want to talk about DoorDash for a second. Go pick up somebody's fast food for them. You know what I mean? What an incredible time to be alive. I don't need to have a 9-to-5 job. I can make $150 a day doing DoorDash.
Or Uber.
Or, I mean, come on, dude. If you're
Instacart.
Yeah, any of it. If you're not looking into it and you're not happy with your life, I just say you're an idiot. You know,
I can't remember what podcast it was recently, but somebody had said, and it slips my mind, but they said, if you have one of these, there's no reason why you can't be making money.
Yes.
There's no reason why, if you have one of these.
that's $1,000 computer in your pocket.
Right.
Dude.
You could be making so much money just by having a cell phone in
Yes.
it. You know?
Yes.
That's my girlfriend. My girlfriend's crushing it with her workout routines, and she has a boutique, and she's just doing so much.
Yes.
And it's all because of these. She's killing it. She's crushing it.
Yes, and it's so cool to see, and I'm literally happy to hear that. I am so happy to hear that because it's I don't think enough people have turned onto it yet. Mm-hmm. All the different ways that you can kind of put yourself out there and not be held under the thumb of a 9-to-5 or
Seriously.
some terrible overnight position that you hate.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. It's and then I love to hear them bitch that we don't want to work. It's one of my favorite things. It's like, quit your job, let them be. It does my heart so good.
I think they don't want to work the way they were brought up to,
exactly.
to work.
They don't want to work.
There's
Meanwhile, Uber is booming right now. DoorDash is booming. I mean, there's people. I mean, myself. I mean, it's all the work I do is through apps, and I love it, man. I love it. So I wholeheartedly hope that more people get turned on to this gig economy, I think they call it, the gig economy.
I never heard of that.
Yeah, it's just you work, your random gigs. You know what I mean? You're, today I'm an IT worker at a county jail. Tomorrow I'm installing a safe for, whatever company. I love what I do, and I really hope more people find a way to take their passion and turn it into some kind of profit, because there's, if somebody can sit on Twitch and play video games and make money hand over fist, really, any hobby can make money if video games can make money.
There's teenage kids on YouTube right now opening up boxes and getting paid for it. Just opening up presents.
Yes.
That's all they're doing.
Yes.
They're not doing anything.
Yes.
They're just opening up a present.
And Christmas morning must have made them a killing. You know what I mean? I don't get that. That scares me. That's one of the scarier sides of YouTube, where it's like, man, what kind of parents are you? I mean, really, that's kind of all right. Word up. I think those kids are props for you.
Do you play the crypto market at all?
I don't know enough about crypto to play the market. I am full of anxiety, so when I don't 100% understand something, I'm very skeptical to get into it. All of my friends tell me to get into it. I should get into it. I've got friends into it that are making so much money. But I wholeheartedly believe that once certain parties decide that this is no longer feasible, it'll just crash and be over.
Yeah.
And that super scares me.
I don't think it's going anywhere, so.
I don't think it will for now.
It's a $2 trillion business right in the industry.
But it's like, I think Bitcoin itself, like just Bitcoin, they say that if the guy who founded Bitcoin sold his Bitcoin, the entire thing would be useless. Mm-hmm. The entire thing would be
they don't know who
worthless.
it is.
Yeah, they don't know who
He's
it
anonymous.
is. Right. But I mean, could this guy die and all of a sudden nobody can get a hold of it? And it's just like.
He could already be dead.
Yeah, right. I mean, it's right. So that's the kind of stuff that scares me about investing my money into this market. It's just like, well, what is it and how does it work? And everyone's just like, dude, it just does. It's a blockchain that does math for you on a computer, and it gives you money. It's cool. I don't get it. I don't.
Is it too volatile for you?
No, I don't think it's that it's too volatile. I just think that I am too set in my ways. Honestly, if I had just taken the time and I look into it, I would probably be incredibly into it. But at the same time, I'm curmudgeon-y about some things, and I'll just plant my flag in the no, Bitcoin's evil. But talk to me in a year, and I'll be like, yeah, I invested in Dogecoin and in Taco Bucks or whatever. Whatever the next one's going to be.
There's always a next one.
There's always a next one. You were talking about what, Shiba coins?
Yeah.
What the hell's a Shiba coin? I mean, when did that even start? They're all insane. I don't get them.
A lot of it's still in its infancy.
It is.
A lot of it. It's like, who knows? I mean, it could be such a boom, and they're all calling it, like, even Gary Vee is like, this is the biggest thing since the internet, and NFTs are the biggest thing, and it's going to be, it's life-changing things that are happening right now.
I don't even know what to think of NFTs yet, to be honest with you. I mean, I know they will have value in the future, and I know that some of them, might make some people very rich. But at the same time, I look at it like a game developer like Ubisoft. They just did their first ever NFTs. They made $400 off of them. I mean, nobody cared. It was just one of those why would you have done? And so it just says to me that the value of these are only derived by us as the people. And so if we just don't put value in it, it's worthless, right? And so I don't know, much like the dollar, you just sit there and you go, what's propping this up at the end of the day? I mean, really, my faith? I have none. I don't know why this is so incredible to a lot of people, but I don't know, man. It is.
Just think that the dollar isn't worth shit anymore.
It's not.
Especially with all this inflation going on and the economy's in shambles and
and so that's
everything has gone up.
So that
people are looking for another outlet.
People universally have that attitude, right? The dollar is worthless, and now you see that attitude because the dollar is backed on the faith of the American people, whatever that means. So now the faith of the American people is gone, and you see the state of this nonsense. I mean, do I really want to put my faith in anything else at this point? Really? I mean, I think we should just throw it all out and start over. I'll trade you some chickens at this point, man. Just let's get back to
the bartering.
Right. NFTs are confusing, and I think they're evil. That's my flag.
Gary Vee had said it again to bring his name up again, too, that the NFT market's going to crash.
Yes.
It is. It's going to crash. Kind of like the internet crashed at one time, too. And then all of a sudden with social media brought it to its prominence.
Yes.
Same thing is going to happen with NFTs. It's going to get flooded. Everybody's going to come in. And then
it's
going to be worthless.
Yes.
But then all of a sudden it's going to rise like the phoenix.
Right. There's going to be
one moment, that one coin. And AJ's checking in right now. He says the Bob coin coming out in 2022. It might be the Bob coin.
I hope it's the Bob coin. And I hope that coin parties. You know what I mean? I hope that coin is, swinging from the rafters. And you very well could be right in that, maybe in the next couple of years or, 10 years, there will be that one coin that redefines, finances as we know it. I don't think we've found it yet. And right now, if we were to have that coin, I think it would have been introduced by Google or Amazon already. And I think until we see the big players jump on,
they're already jumping on.
Matters.
Facebook's getting their own coin going on with the metaverse going on. And Amazon's starting to accept coins on their platform as well.
Yeah.
Crypto has crashed a couple times already.
Yes,
and it's already gone. They've already rose from the Phoenix a couple times. And I'm sure it might happen again.
Absolutely.
The volatility with the crypto market is ridiculous. Up and down and up and down. If you can't handle the volatility, don't get into it. That's what I always tell everybody.
Right.
Always spend within your means. Don't go mortgaging off your house.
Yes.
If you got a couple $100 and to throw on, don't go to the bar for the weekend and just throw it on a cryptocurrency and see where it goes in about 5 years from now. But it's so up and down.
So let me ask you this then: are you one of the crypto guys that believes? And I'm calling you a crypto guy in that
I am a crypto guy.
Okay, okay. So are you one of the crypto guys that believes this is more like the stock market? You invest, either short or long term, and you play it like that, or are you one of the crypto guys that believes okay, in the next X amount of years, we need to transition the entire world's market onto this platform?
A little bit of both, actually.
Okay.
It's easy to play the short-term game because there's some money to be made out there.
Right.
Do I play it? I have, but I don't.
Right.
I'm more into it for the long haul. At one time, the crypto just had a crash back this summer.
Yes.
And I, at one time, had 35 coins. But when it crashed, I decided to put most of the coins that I had, the 30, I condensed 35 coins into 8 coins.
Okay.
So now I'm just holding 8. And I'm not even actually throwing no more money in anymore. Yep. I'm just going to hold, let it ride that son of a bitch. I took my initial investment out. Now I'm playing with house money.
Right.
I like gambling. And
absolutely.
I do like it as much as I hate it.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I like the sports side of gambling. And to me, that's kind of the way I look at it.
I get that.
As looking at it into the future, that this could be the world currency. It probably could be, especially the way all the currencies are going. It's not even just the American dollar, the yen, all these currencies are crumbling.
Universally, yes.
It's universally
Money
crumbling.
is,
The euro, it's all going downhill big time.
So my biggest concern then is looking at, like you're saying, the versatility of it and like how, you'll see the extreme highs and the extreme lows. And it's like now we're talking about putting the world's economy on that roller coaster ride. It's like, man, we're going to be seeing months of extreme poverty followed by, these people that we just saw homeless now walking out with a brand new car because all of a sudden their $11 is worth $11 million.
But wouldn't you love to see that? I want to see everybody make money.
Yes.
I do. I want to see everybody do good.
I want to see everybody make money, but I don't want to see everybody lose everything if it all goes south. And that's my biggest concern with crypto is that I just don't think, I think, honestly, if somebody were able to define crypto and break it down to the masses in a more explainable way, it would immediately resolve a lot of that versatility issue, and then it would become viable. But right now, it's like the general consensus is, and okay, so I've been installing Bitcoin ATMs, actually, as part of my job in a lot of these stores.
Right there.
And literally everybody asked me the same thing. How does a Bitcoin work? And it's like, and I'm just like, I don't know. I'm just bolting down the machine. You know what I mean? And I think if we were able to explain that, it would alleviate a lot of the problems with it. But I've never heard anybody just be like, oh, this is exactly how it works in layman's terms, so your dumbass can understand it. And maybe I'm just not supposed to understand it, and I'm just supposed to throw money at it. I don't know.
Well, now they got these crypto cards. Like it's same thing as
the visas and all that. The visas
and Coinbase has their own card and all these different exchanges. You can get a card and use it to buy goods or whatever on it. So a lot of these, like Walmart's going to start accepting it. Amazon, all these big conglomerates are going to start accepting it.
And that's
it opens up the floodgates. And believe it or not, only 2% of the world are playing the crypto game right now. Only 2% of the world. And it's at a $2 trillion market cap right now. Can you fathom that right now?
No, honest to God, I'm trying. It's like now I'm thinking about. It's like, all right, maybe I should just start throwing money at it. I don't understand it. But
I'll give you my reference code, brother.
Yes, I mean, just take some of these dollar bills. Whatever. I've got a friend of mine who always just buys the newest cryptos, before they're even worth a cent.
And you can make a lot of money that way.
And he's just like, I just bought 2,000, light dollars or whatever. It's just like, this is insane to me. But he's like, they're worth less than a penny, and maybe if overnight it goes up to a nickel, I'll be a millionaire. It's like, I don't. Okay, dude. Good for you.
Taking a shot, bro. It is. It's taking a chance. It's that gambling mentality. If you don't have that gambling mentality, you shouldn't get into it.
Yes, that's and it's. I went to a casino. I've been to a casino twice, right? First time, it was terrible, and it was all slot machines, whatever. Second time I went, I played blackjack, and I walked out, I think, with $400. It was in that Rivers Casino in Schenectady opened up. And I was like, man, I'm going to come back tomorrow, and I'm going to do this. And I did. And then I lost a bunch of money. And I was like, I'm going to come back tomorrow, and I'm just going to make that money back. And I was like, no, this is how people get addicted to gambling. Exactly. I'm not going to do this anymore. So it's like, that's the other thing. If I get into crypto, I might just become one of those weird guys.
I was.
Yeah, I'll be calling all my friends at 2 a.m. going, the Japanese markets are on fire right now.
But that's the thing with crypto. It never shuts down.
Right.
Where the stock exchange is done, you got that window to buy and stuff like that, and then it's done. They shut it down for the day. Where crypto's 24 hours.
Right.
And when we're not playing it, they're playing it in Asia.
Yeah, listen, I know it's 2 o'clock in the morning, but the Albanian markets, dude, they're killing it. You got to get up out of bed.
And like you said, too, there's always a brand new coin coming out, and you can always buy it for less than a penny.
Yes.
So you could put $200 in it. Like the kid, there was a recent story, and this is actually how I got into Shiba. I read an article on how these kids, they put a couple $100 on Shiba, woke up the next day and had $2.3 million in their wallet.
Oh,
now they're called the Shiba Brothers, right? And they just, imagine that. It's life-changing money just by throwing a couple bucks on it.
Imagine a girl walking up to you at a bar going, you're the Shiba Brothers, aren't you? Oh, God, that would.
At one time, I owned a bar here in Utica on Varick Street.
Did you really?
Yeah, and so this kid, I always thought he was really weird, right? This is 10 years ago. I've been close for 10 years now. But this kid was a little strange, right? And he came up to me, and I always thought he was creepy, whatever.
Yeah.
But I always kept my distance from him, but he came up to me one day, and this is a while ago. He's like, "You got to get into Bitcoin. You got to get into Bitcoin."
Yeah.
And now I see him because I'm friends with him on Instagram, and he's traveling the world because he got into Bitcoin back in 2010.
Dude, okay.
and like he hit it huge, and he's still got a shit ton of Bitcoin.
Yes.
And like, but he's got life-changing money and can do whatever he wants. Financial freedom.
2010, I remember I was sitting in a computer networking class. I was getting my Cisco Networking Associate certification. I was still in high school, right? And we're doing this high-level network. And I remember we're sitting in this class, and we were laughing our balls off at the people buying Bitcoin, going, "This is so dumb. I can't believe anybody's getting into this." And it was like 2 years later, that was when they had that Bitcoin explosion, and the market just took right off. And I remember we were all in a group chat just going, "Yeah, you guys remember that a couple years ago when we had the opportunity to," and like as a class experiment, we were going to buy Bitcoin. And we were like, "Nah, this is stupid. We'll just skip that for the day." I mean, we could have gotten in, basically at the ground floor of this shit, and we just all laughed at it. We were, "No, this is nonsense." So that's my, I could have bought into NVIDIA story. You know what I mean? Everybody's got one. That's mine. And it's sad. I think maybe that's why I haven't gotten into Bitcoin, because I'm just so jaded by that memory that I'm just like, no, if I didn't do it then, I'm not going to do it now. I blew it. I blew the opportunity, I should think about it. Damn.
Yeah.
Talk about it in therapy, maybe, huh?
There you go. Do you see a therapist?
I'm actually going to start. I emailed somebody last week.
We can start right now,
Let's
dude.
go.
Right now. Lay down.
Dude. lay down. Is that all right?
You ever... Tell me your inner thoughts.
No, yeah, I'm going to start seeing a therapist, because we all should. Mental health is health, and it is just as important as your physical health. And
I agree.
I have lived a life, and I should talk about it with people. I mean, it's like even. I don't know. Like I said, everybody should. Everybody should find somebody that they can wholeheartedly just, confide their issues into, and then also get constructive feedback as to how to deal with it, which is, I don't know, something I guess I avoided. I got really into, when I was a corrections officer, human behavioral science.
You kind of have to be in that.
Yeah, so, right. I dealt with a lot of inmates with addiction, so I got into addictive psychology, and I was just reading full-on, like, college textbooks, basically, and I got really into author and Dr. Paul Ekman, and I recently just read another book he put out called Emotional Awareness, where he sat down with the Dalai Lama and had a conversation with him about just, the importance of emotional awareness in our society, and how we can, confront negative emotions, but also turn them into constructive experiences, blah, 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 blah. And then I just, like, by the end of that book, I was like, all right, I should probably do something. You know what I mean? Learning about it's one thing, but actually putting it into practice, totally different experience, So, we'll see where it goes.
Mental health wasn't a thing when I was growing up, or it wasn't. And then all of a sudden, it became a thing, and it's important to check on your friends, for one.
Yes,
it is very important, because we're seeing a high rate of suicide lately.
Yes,
and it's unfortunate.
And dude, I grew up in a town, like, my graduating class was legitimately 23 people.
Wow.
If you brought up mental health,
what school is that?
Wells Central School, up in the middle of the Adirondacks. If you brought up mental health, you basically got laughed at. You know what I mean? It was so primitive and backwards up there, where it was like you had to be like, the super fidgety Hollywood definition of ADHD to have ADHD. I probably have ADHD, you know what I mean? And you're sitting there like, you fucking do.
Yeah, so do I, too. So. We both do.
But it was like, we never got that recognized as children, you know what I mean? And especially growing up in the area we did, like, depression and anxiety, like, that was all like, no, we need to worry about bear attacks. And yeah, dude, we're up in the Adirondacks, you know what I mean? So it was, and now that I'm getting older, I'm like, oh, you know what? I need to deal with some things, you know what I'm saying? So it's, and like you were saying, check up on your friends. For the last 5 years, Okay, so this is a cool little thing. Over the last 365 days, I've lost 80 pounds.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, man.
Congrats, man.
I'm a good-looking guy now. I'm happy with how I feel. And it's so before that, I was 330 pounds, long hair. I was a disgusting human being. Dealing with depression and, working the retail position at Speedway that I hated so much after working in a law enforcement position that I loved so much. I wish at any point over that 5 years, any one of my friends would have just said, hey, Fish, you look like shit, man. What's going on? You know what I mean? It's like that would have helped me so much, but nobody did. So now I make it a point to just, like you said, reach out. Just, hey, I've noticed XYZ. Is everything cool? Or just, hey, was thinking about you. You know what I mean? Just wanted to drop a line, say hi. There's nothing wrong with that. And for some reason, we're still kind of like breaking that taboo in our society that it's like you're kind of looked as less than if you talk about mental health. And we just need to keep making the strides to break that.
I 100% agree on that. And I think more people are coming out of their comfort zone to talk about it.
Yes, and it's like you should be. I mean, if you look at, America versus European countries, just in the ways we talk about mental health, we are so, repressed. We're so into, sexuality especially. You bring up sex in America or your sexuality, people will legitimately cringe. Go over to any European country or North African countries, and it's like it's just like, oh, okay. Cool, you're that way, fine, whatever. You like that, okay, but you can't do that in America, and it's just kind of like, I don't know, we're all just so wrapped up inside ourselves, and we're always just kind of pushing more down, and it's not healthy, dude. It's terrible.
We're a very self-centered country as well, too.
Yes, we are.
Everybody's look at me,
exactly.
Jealousy.
That's why Instagram takes off the way it does.
Yeah,
it's. That's the vanity of social media. I was talking about it with a kid at the gym. It's like if you go on social media as a guy, it's all six-packs and great-looking dudes, and you're really, you feel uncomfortable with your body. It's the same way, sure, women do, especially, you know what I mean? That insane beauty standard that we hold in this society. But, we find the need to post on social media all the best parts of our lives and all the positive stuff, but we never talk about the negative on social media. So it's like everybody has this warped perception of our lives that are, that you have of somebody else's life.
Yeah. You see all nothing but the good.
Not healthy.
Yeah.
It goes right back to what we were saying. We were never supposed to take in this much information.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
How'd you lose the 80 pounds?
I hit in the gym twice a day.
Yeah.
I cut,
twice a day.
Yeah. I cut everything out of, all the shit out of my diet. I literally, I met. So this is incredible. I met somebody one night. I met this girl, and we had this incredible conversation. I was like I said, 330 pounds, gross. And I left that conversation. I said to myself, what the fuck does a guy got to do to get a girl like that? You know what I mean? Got my gym membership the next day. Cut all the crap out of my diet. It's a very strict, holding myself to 1,780 calories a day.
Wow, you're a big guy too.
Yeah. So it's like, I won't lie. In the summer, I was slacking a little bit. You know what I mean? You take a break and you eat
drink
shit.
Some beer.
Exactly. Yeah. Enjoy the summer. But hold yourself to 1,780 calories a day.
Wow.
At least a half hour of cardio every day. Take your rest days, but a rest day doesn't have to be you just lay around. It's an active rest day. Stretch and do a run or a light jog or whatever. Hold yourself accountable to it because nobody else is going to. And don't make any excuses like, oh, this hurts or whatever. Work around it. Find it. Get help for whatever your problems are and blow past it because, like I said, nobody's going to do the work for you. So, get off your ass. That's really all there is to it. And that's what I told myself because it's the longer you sit there and stew into it, you're going to feel worse in your head and you're going to feel worse physically, especially. I can't tell you how big that transformation was, in just how I felt, you know what I mean? I very lethargic, no energy. And now I'm just I'm vibrant. I feel like I'm exploding right now.
You are glowing.
In a good or bad way, I don't know.
No,
but
it's
I'm
a good
trying.
way. You have a purple aura.
I don't know what that means, but that's cool, you know? Sick, man.
What gym do you go to?
Retro Fitness in Yorkville.
Cool.
I love those guys so much, man. You walk in, the staff is so great, and they're so friendly and they helpful. I mean, the trainers there will just, call it as it is. Hey, you're overdoing this or underdoing this, or if you want to lose the muffin top, get to the, And so, it's fantastic. It's a down-to-earth place, man. I can't suggest it enough to anybody.
Is that the place that gives you the weight loss T-shirts?
I haven't gotten a weight loss T-shirt.
Okay, I'm thinking of another place.
Yeah, no, I haven't gotten a T-shirt yet, but if it is, I feel gypped. So I'm going to have to talk to somebody. No, man, it's an incredible gym. Very clean, which, during COVID is the biggest thing. Those guys are always in there cleaning, which I can't stress enough to be just so paramount right now, because I tried a couple gyms in the area that noticeably haven't been gone through in a very long time, and people are in there sweating. It's like, dude, I'm not trying to get sick, man. Not for this. So it's.
So I stopped going to the gym for that reason.
Yeah.
For one, I didn't want to work out with a mask on.
Yeah, well, yes, that was huge. But my trainer, he was like, dude. But think of it this way. When you take that mask off, your lungs are going to be strong. And they are, man. Just that doing cardio through a sweaty mask, whoo, man, that's the equivalent of high altitude training.
Like that. Wow.
And my lungs are strong, man. And he was so right. And so, but that's why people wear like those haptic masks and stuff when they work out. So it was the same thing. And I'm a big boy. I sweat. So it was all just wet all the time, But it's now that the masks are back out, if you can prove your vaccination, it's great. I love it.
So if you're vaccinated, you can
at
work
my
out
gym
without
at
a mask?
least.
Okay.
Yes, you've got to show your vaccination. You got to show your proof and all that. But they'll let you go without a mask. With the new mandates and everything, it's every day is different. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, right now, it's all pretty chill. I'm happy with it. It all seems to be flowing in the right direction, too. The whole COVID thing, it's...
That's worse. It's getting better.
No, you say that, but at the same time, I feel more people are getting turned on to the idea of we need to end this. Like, this is on us at this point.
Yeah, it's over 600 days.
Put your mask on. Get your vaccination. Do what you've got to do. Because I don't know about y'all, but I'm sick of it. I'm really tired of it. And it's like us as a society. I just read an article today. We got to redouble our efforts just to keep this down. And I think more people are getting turned on to that idea of like, all right, maybe my bullshit isn't worth keeping this going at least. Even if you're doing it for the wrong reasons, you're doing it. I guess. Man. I don't know.
So sick of it. It's something we've been talking about every day for 2 years straight. Yep. It's hard not to bring up the word COVID or coronavirus into your conversation because it affects everything that we've been doing for the last 2 years.
Yes.
Sad.
The stand-up comedy community here. It was like I did a show with our buddy Phil Farda out. I can't remember the name of the town, but it was that night in March. I think it was like March 17th, 2020, when everything shut down. I did that comedy show. I set the mic to have a good night, and then the bartender was like, "Okay, we're closing in an hour. We're going into COVID lockdown," and that was it, man, for a year. Yeah. No open mics, no shows. Constant arguing in politics as to what kind of shows can we do. It was such a discouraging year. You know what I mean? And then we've had that ray of hope in 2021, and that got quickly dashed away. Mm-hmm. It has been a serious struggle, especially in the entertainment community.
Oh, for sure. I don't think this industry can handle another lockdown.
No, it absolutely
they can't. These venues were closing back, when it first started, and now
we're not even talking about financial resources to help these venues anymore.
Exactly.
It's like that well is dried up. Apparently,
yes.
I don't know. Apparently, that the U.S. government well of opportunity is dry, and that's a shame.
This country's bankrupt.
Yes, it has been, but it's at this point, it's like we're bankrupt both financially and morally.
And mentally.
Yes, really. There was something to be said. back, and it sucks with, like, when 9/11 happened, when the American people came together for that 30 days. It's like, you will never see that again. Hopefully we never see that again. And now it's like you look around and we are so against each other. And we're so, we want to fight one another. It's sickening. It's disgusting. And it's like I said earlier in this podcast, I actively avoid the fights, and I'm watching people just actively try to get into them. And it's like, why? How tired do you want to be at the end of the day, really? And then you want to carry that into tomorrow? Oh, good. This is going to be a fun couple of years of COVID. Great. I don't know, man. I don't know. Sometimes I just, I don't know. We got a lot of learning to do as a society. Yeah, seriously.
We do. We got to learn about each other. It's
yes.
got to happen.
Yes.
We already know about ourselves. We need to learn about each other.
And we need to be more open to, everybody else's needs, man. I was just in Washington, D.C. for New Year's, and it was heartbreaking seeing the homelessness issue down there. Like, seriously. It was like such a beautiful and vibrant city, just undercut by a homelessness issue that is sponsored by blue Coleman tents. They're everywhere, man. It's just these cities of blue Coleman tents, you know what I mean? And you're inside a club where legitimately the bartender will tell you the most expensive drink on the menu is $350, and you walk 40 feet to the left and there's a homeless camp. What the fuck does that say about the society we live in? That is so frustrating to me. Really. Really, where you can go and spend $350 on a drink that will last you 20 minutes, maybe, or, blue Coleman tents. It's goddamn nuts. It's nuts, man.
Did you think this conversation was going to go in so many directions today?
No, but I loved it. I loved it, dude. This is so much fun. You do so well. You put on such a great show. Your energy, the way you captivate your guest. I didn't think I would be talking this much.
I'm glad you did.
Me too.
You make my job much more easier when you can talk. I love guests that can talk.
Thank you.
It makes my job so much easier. You just throw a question out and just watch them slam dunk it.
I hope it made sense. I hope anything I said
Nothing made sense.
Good. I actually like that more.
Me too. Me too. Talk about Fish Guy Media too.
So Fish Guy Media was, it was an idea to help me get into this entertainment universe. Me and my brother were doing podcasts and just kind of really in all different directions, not of anything in particular. Like, my brother wanted to do sports, so we did a sports show. And I do what's called the J&J exhibit. I sit down with one of the local comedians, Jay Watch, and we just talk about, we try to actually get more into the psychological and emotional side of everything that we're doing, because, like we were talking about, people don't talk enough about it. And then it's, video games, it's live streaming, it's, stupid videos on YouTube. And like I said, I'm an internet renaissance man, and I just like to, if I have a weird and quirky idea and it's feasible that I can shoot something or do a podcast about it, I want to, because it's there's, like we were saying earlier, there's so much out there. This market is so diluted, but a lot of it is absolute trash.
Yeah,
it really is. Yeah. And it's people like you, people like me, who have big personalities and are talented in what we do, need to thrive more, and the Twitch thing, going live on Twitch, it helps all that much more, just because, like I said, the platform is there and it's available to anybody. So you can catch me live streaming on Twitch, twitch.tv/fishguymedia. And then, the youtube.com, just search for Fish Guy Media. You'll see the little orange logo there. And again, that's just whatever I think is going to be funny or entertaining. I've done stupid comedy sketches with our buddy Jason Zongrone. I think Fish Guy Media Talent Agency is the best sketch I've ever done. It was all improv. It was 3 minutes long, and it was hilarious. But it's just sitting around in my kitchen one night, and Zongrone was like, "Well, what if we did something like, where you were just a sleazy talent agent?" All right, cool. And then we just put the scene together, made it happen. So it's really, it's whatever I just want to.
I love it.
Put out there.
Are you putting out daily content?
I'm getting back into it. I'm actually planning out the next round of fireside Joshes. I call them the 20-second, just piece of over the top advice. And I'm planning out a bunch of them. My biggest problem is that I was always trying to just think of something on the fly, record it, make it happen, and that is so stressful. I mean, really, when you're just like sitting there and you're like, all right, time to think of something funny, like. It doesn't work.
Right.
So I'm just trying to take a little bit of time, plan everything out, do it right. Because like I said, you got to be on point right now. There's so much out there.
Yeah.
It's so accessible to everybody.
Right on.
I'm getting back into now the holidays are over. I'm getting back into the video game live streaming. I've gotten into the VR Oculus nonsense.
I have one.
Dude, that's wild, isn't it?
Addicted.
Breaks your brain instantly.
Yeah.
Like,
and then sometimes I get motion sickness.
Dude, I honestly took the headset off like the second time I played it, and I just instantly went and threw up. I was just like, overdid
You tried the roller coaster?
Yes.
Oh, my God. I thought I was going to die.
Yes.
That just really threw my equilibrium off.
It was I did a Spider-Man VR thing, and I was swinging, and dude, it was like, I was like, wow, I kind of don't feel good. And then I like swung again. I was like, I really don't feel good. And I took the headset off. I just walked in the other room and vomited. It was not my proudest moment as a gamer, but that's when I knew I loved it, because it was like, it's got that effect on your brain. You put that headset on and your brain immediately just goes, okay, it's time to start making memories into this new environment that I'm in right now. Oh, I'm in a big spacious arena. Punch forward into that guy as hard as you can. And then you find out your television's right in front of you. Your brain's just like, there can't be a wall there possibly. I'm looking around and I see, it's so insane to watch this VR takeover. And then when you get into it yourself, like, I would watch videos of people playing VR, and it's like, wow, that looks kind of cool. And then you put it on yourself, and your brain has that moment where it's like, all right, I'm here now. This is a dagger. Stab that guy. Like, it's like you unlock something very primitive in your brain that's just like, yeah, I was meant to do this. Like, I'm not a serial killer, I swear to God. But I'm having so much fun with the VR stuff right now. I got into a ghost hunting game called Phasmophobia, and I've never been more scared in my life. I mean, really, it's so incredible. I mean, just the way, and that's how I gauge video games, like whether or not I like them is like, do I have an emotional reaction to, this game, whether it's fear or sadness, happiness, whatever. And I haven't found a VR game yet that's been like, nah, I didn't like that one. Like, they're all incredible.
They really are.
Even like the shooters, the one I'm playing right now
Hot
called
Shot.
Hot Shot. Oh my God, Hot Shot. I'll spend hours in there.
Yeah.
I'm playing a military simulator called Onward, where you're, unloading putting the magazine, hitting the, charge handle, the whole nine. And, you're actually, shooting at other people who are shooting back at you. And your brain is just broken. I'm laying on my back in the middle of my studio watching bullets fly overhead. And I'm just like leaning up and then shooting a whole bunch of times and laying back down. And it's like in my head, it's like, I'm there. I'm sweating. I'm,
sweating for sure.
Yes, and it's just like, no, I need to calm down. I need to actually get out of this world for a minute. But it's great for frustration. It's the future, man. We were talking about it before we went live. It's going to be the future of schools. It's going to be the future of entertainment. I mean, when you can, bring a bunch of students together into a virtual classroom and not have the risk of COVID. I mean, like, that's going to be huge, but still have them be present in that environment. That's, I think one of the biggest struggles with the online learning right now is everybody's like sitting in a Zoom class and it's like a laptop that's in front of you, but you're still in your bedroom. You put that VR headset on, you're in a new room, like you're in a new place. So I think it will be incredibly helpful for things like education, especially.
Yeah.
But we'll see. I think 2 years from now, you're going to be blown away by where VR is, man. This is in its infancy right now.
Yeah.
And it's just in the last year to see what they've done, especially with the Oculus. You know, that is a standalone device. You don't even need a PC to run it.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like you don't even need that powerhouse of a PC, that $2,000 machine to do VR anymore. You just got to put this literally $200 headset on nowadays. That's the choice between an Xbox One X or a VR headset at this point. I don't understand why people wouldn't, you know what I mean? And I don't understand why we wouldn't lean more into the technology, especially as a society.
You brought up a good point about it's like a workout. Have you tried Creed?
Yes.
It's Creed. I'm obsessed with it. I went out and bought it. I had to.
Yes.
And it's like, I get to fight Rocky Balboa.
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
Dude.
I get to fight Mr. T. I'm all about this.
Yes.
And like, you'll go like 3 or 4 and I'm drenched.
Yes.
Drenched. Like, I just got out of the gym or something.
Yeah.
Like, I just had a workout. But not throughout this workout, I fought Clubber Lang.
Yes.
I fought Ivan Drago. I even fought freaking Rocky Balboa.
And I did it on a mountain, and it was snowing, and I loved it. Like, I mean, like it's such, oh man, it's such a cool piece of technology. And it's like my $1 million idea, verbal trademark here, is to get like VR headsets and those big 16-way haptic treadmills that people can run on, and just put like 30 of them in a big room, and just have big fat gamers come and pay a gym membership to come run around and play a VR shooter game or a wrestling game or whatever. Because you think about how sweaty you get at home. I mean, imagine if you were just on a treadmill able to move around as much as you wanted. Oh, come on.
Interesting idea.
Yeah, man, there'd be people having heart attacks. I'd be having people sign waivers, just like, you won't sue me when you drop dead. I mean, it's going to happen. You're going to love it. I'm telling you.
Everybody's obesity problems will go down, too.
I'm telling you, man. It's a
great idea. You could change the world with that idea. Yeah, I like it.
Really? I mean, it's like, hey, you get to play video games and work out. Let's go. I mean,
right.
And if you're into, like, yoga, there's the VR yogas and stuff like that, dude. It's going to be an incredible transformation to see VR take over. I mean, I genuinely think the desktop PC, I mean, it's always going to have its place in what we do in production, but it's going to be obsolete in 5 years. Yeah. I mean, it already almost kind of is. Everybody's got a tablet, but I think VR is going to be the final nail in that coffin, because it's just going to be so accessible to everybody, you know. But we'll see what happens. I could be wrong, you know.
Like we said earlier, great time to be alive.
It is. Dude, it's so, I mean, the old Chinese proverb said, there was a two-parter. It said, may you live in interesting times, and may you never find what you're looking for. You know, and it's like, that is so true. I genuinely love to live my life that way. Just, it's an interesting time, and I never want to find what I'm looking for, because, you know, maybe I'll give up at that point. I don't know.
Bro, this has been a good hang. We got to do this again.
This has been a lot of fun, dude.
We got to do this again.
Yes.
Let's do it.
I can't wait, man. Really. I mean, just the idea of being on somebody else's show and I don't have to set this up. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Let's go.
Click a few buttons and go, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
What a great time to be alive. But thanks again. Plug all your social media so people can find you online.
So you can find me on Facebook, Fish Guy Media Network, Instagram, Fish Guy Media Network, twitch.tv/ you guessed it, Fish Guy Media Network. It's crazy. Yeah, and friend request me. I'm Josh Fish. You know, if you find me, I'm always posting the funniest memes. You know, we have a community Discord for Fish Guy Media as well, if you want to jump in and talk to some of the other people from all over the world, to be honest with you. It's like I got this cool little community of people that, I mean, you know, you'll be down in El Paso, Texas talking to somebody, and then I got this kid out in the middle of Siberia in Russia. I mean, he is one of the coolest kids. So check out the community Discord if you want to. You can find all of that information right on my Twitch channel. Again, that's twitch.tv/Fish Guy Media.
Awesome.
Back to you. What do you got?
Josh, thanks for coming, man. This has been a lot of fun. Let's do it again really soon, though.
Yes, sir. Seriously.
And if you got anything you want to promote or plug, please use our platform, man.
Okay, so we got 3 open mics in this area, 3 comedy open mics we need to see more people at. We got Tuesdays at Chris's Grub and Pub in Rome. It's a fun little bar are. They do Taco Tuesdays, and they're actually fantastic. I know you wouldn't expect it in Rome, but the tacos are good. Wednesdays, we've got the Uptown Theater just here across the city. Devin's been on. You guys know Brie. I mean, it's what an awesome couple, and they are really doing as much as they can to help the comedy community around here. And then on Thursdays, not this month, but again, starting up in February at the Hub Eatery on Bleecker Street, we do another open mic at 7 o'clock. And again, a lot of fun, cool bar crowd, and they have an interesting little stage set up. So find us, check it out.
I love it, buddy. I like what you're doing, man.
Thank you.
Keep in touch.
Thank you. Yes, sir.
Shout out to my sponsors, United Auto, EJA Moving Services, Joey's at 307. Under Too Long is a book by Billy the Liquor Guy. Check that out on Amazon or wherever you get your books. Shout out to Utica Coffee, my attorney, Dave Longaretta, Saranac Brewery, and, of course, Ballsy. Ballwash.com. Use promo code members only for a 15% discount. Get some hygiene for your groin area. We all need that.
We all need that.
I'm telling you, Nut Rub changed my life.
Really?
It really does.
Okay,
I got the best smelling dick of all 315. I'm
dude,
serious.
I've been doing the Dollar Shave Club, you know. Now that you're bringing this up, it's like, again, the theme here has been you can adapt to something or you can specialize in it, and it sounds like your people specialize in it.
They specialize in male hygiene.
I got to figure it out. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Thanks again, bro. Good hang. Let's do it again really soon. You guys all have yourself a good day. Later.
Looking to sell your vehicle? Contact the United Auto Wholesale Team. We'll buy it. Old or new, car, truck, SUV, van, call to set up an appointment. Then stop in, make the sale, and get instant payment. Sell your vehicle to United Auto's Wholesale Team.